Have you ever seen someone so stunned, so deeply moved, that words simply refuse to leave their lips? Imagine Lee Min-ho, one of the most confident and charismatic stars in the industry, standing frozen in place, eyes locked on Kim Go-eun, unable to speak. Because what she had just said wasn't part of a script, wasn't planned, and wasn't for the cameras. It was raw, real, and came straight from her heart. And what's even more shocking is how this moment almost never made it to the public eye. Before I take you deep into this story that has fans rewatching the footage over and over again, do one thing right now. Hit that subscribe button and help us reach 1,000 subscribers, because the truth behind this speech will make you see Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun in a way you've never imagined. It began at what was supposed to be a simple event, an industry gathering that celebrated the cast and crew of a major production they had worked on together. The air was light, full of laughter, clinking glasses, and polite speeches thanking directors, producers, and fans. Kim Go-eun had been quiet for most of the night, smiling warmly whenever the cameras turned her way, but keeping to herself otherwise. No one suspected that she had been rehearsing something silently in her mind for weeks. When it was finally her turn to take the stage, there was no grand announcement, no dramatic entrance. She walked up slowly, clutching the microphone with both hands, her eyes sweeping the audience before settling on one person, Lee Min-ho. The room seemed to fade for her, and in that instant, you could almost feel the shift in the air. Her voice started softly, thanking the crew, the production team, and the fans. But then, without warning, her tone changed. It grew steadier, warmer, and more personal. She began talking about how the project had changed her, not just professionally, but personally. She spoke of someone who had been her constant source of support during the most challenging days, someone who had reminded her to smile even when she was exhausted, someone who saw her not as a co-star, but as a person worth believing in. The audience leaned in. Everyone knew who she was referring to, but no one expected her to name him outright. Then she did. Lee Min-ho, she said clearly, her voice ringing out across the room. You might not realize this, but you've taught me things I'll carry for the rest of my life. A murmur rippled through the crowd, cameras flashed, and Lee Min-ho, seated near the front, sat perfectly still. She continued, recalling moments that had never been caught on camera. The time he stayed hours after his own scenes were done just to rehearse with her, the messages he sent before big shoots to wish her luck, the way he noticed when she was unusually quiet and found subtle ways to make her laugh. She told the audience that in an industry where people often wear masks, Lee Min-ho's kindness had been genuine and that she felt lucky, honored, to have experienced it. By now, the entire room was silent. No one was checking their phones, no one was whispering to their tablemates. All eyes were on Kim Go-eun, who was speaking with a mix of gratitude and vulnerability that you could feel in your chest. She ended her speech with words that sent a wave of emotion through everyone present. Whatever the future holds, I hope you know, you've made a difference in my life that no award, no role, and no amount of fame could ever match. Thank you for being you. The crowd erupted into applause, some people even standing. But Lee Min-ho didn't move at first. He sat there, staring at her with an expression no one could quite read, somewhere between awe, disbelief, and a hint of something deeper. Then, almost as if he remembered where he was, he stood and clapped slowly, his gaze never breaking from hers. He didn't smile in that practiced, media-trained way. It was softer, more genuine, as if the rest of the world had disappeared for a moment. That moment, captured in just a few shaky fan-taken videos, spread across social media like wildfire. People dissected every glance, every pause, every tiny movement. Fans noted how Lee Min-ho's usual quick wit seemed to vanish, how even after the applause died down, he stayed unusually quiet. Interviews from that night showed him giving polite, short answers, often glancing in Kim Go-eun's direction as if still processing her words. And here's the kicker. People close to the event claim that Kim Go-eun's speech wasn't part of the planned program. She had been given only a short slot to thank the team, but she used that time to speak directly to him in front of everyone. This wasn't a promotional stunt. It wasn't rehearsed for the cameras. It was something she had wanted to say, and she chose that night to finally let it out. The emotional weight of that moment didn't just touch those in the room, It lit up the entire fandom. Hashtags trended within hours, fan edits of the speech racked up millions of views, and articles speculated on what it all meant. Was this just a heartfelt gesture between friends and colleagues? Or was there something more? Did her words hint at a bond that had grown beyond the professional, into something personal, something real? Lee Min-ho's reaction only fueled the speculation. In the days following the event, he didn't post anything on social media. No cryptic captions, no behind-the-scenes selfies. For someone known to occasionally share glimpses of his day, the silence was unusual. When he finally did post, it was a simple black and white photo of a city skyline with the caption, "Some things stay with you forever." Fans instantly connected it to her speech, convinced it was his way of acknowledging it without saying too much. Kim Go-eun, for her part, went about her schedule as usual. But during one interview, when a reporter asked her about the speech, she smiled softly and said, "Sometimes you just have to tell people how much they matter while you can." She didn't elaborate, didn't name him, but everyone knew. In the weeks that followed, sightings of the two together became rarer, almost as if they were keeping a lower profile. Whether that was to protect their privacy or simply due to busy schedules, no one can say for sure. But the impact of that speech lingered. Fans still talk about it, rewatch it, and use it as proof in countless theories about their relationship. What makes this moment so powerful isn't just the speculation. It's the fact that in an industry often filled with scripted interactions and calculated PR moves, this felt different. It felt like an unfiltered glimpse into something real, something human. A moment where one person told another, in front of the world, that they had changed their life and meant every word. So, whether you're a believer in the romance theories or you see it as a beautiful moment of friendship and respect, one thing is undeniable. Kim Go-eun's emotional speech left Lee Min-ho speechless not because of what it said about them, but because of what it revealed about her, her gratitude, her sincerity, and her willingness to be vulnerable in a world that rarely rewards it. And maybe that's why it struck such a chord with fans everywhere. Because in that one unscripted, unplanned moment, we were reminded that behind the glamour, the lights, and the fame, there are real people with real feelings, capable of touching each other's lives in ways no camera can fully capture.